Good morning, children. Today we are going to see periodic classification of elements. There are 115 elements known at present, and it is very difficult to study the properties of all these elements separately. So, all the elements have been divided into a few groups in such a way that elements in the same group have similar properties. In this way, the study of a large number of elements is reduced to the study of a few groups of elements. This is the reason for the periodic classification of elements. We will now describe the various attempts which have been made to classify the elements from time to time. And finally, we will discuss the modern classification of elements. Let us start with the Dobereiner's triads. In earlier attempts, the elements were classified on the basis of their properties. All these elements having similar properties were put in one group called a family. In the year 1829, a German chemist, Dobereiner, observed that certain elements had similar properties and that he could put them together in groups of three elements each. These groups of three elements were called triads. All the three elements of a particular triad had similar chemical properties. In fact, Dobereiner was the first scientist to show the relationship between the properties of elements and their atomic masses. According to Dobereiner's law of triads, when elements are arranged in the order of increasing atomic masses, groups of three elements, known as triads, having similar chemical properties are obtained. The atomic mass of the middle element of the triad being equal to the arithmetic mean of the atomic masses of the other two elements. Now see, here you can see three examples of Dobereiner triads. Now look at these alkali metals. The elements lithium, sodium and potassium have similar chemical properties and form a triad. For example, all these elements are metals. All of them react with water to form alkalis and hydrogen gas. And all of them have a valency of 1. So, due to their similar chemical properties, the elements lithium, sodium and potassium were put in one group called alkali metal group or alkali metal family and form a Dobereiner's triad. From the above table, it is clear that lithium is the first element of this triad, sodium is the middle element, whereas potassium is the third element of the triad. Now, atomic mass of lithium is 7 and that of potassium is 39. So, if you will find average, it is 23. So, which is the actual atomic mass of sodium. So, from the calculation, we find that the arithmetic mean of the atomic masses of lithium and potassium is 23, which is equal to the actual atomic mass of the middle element of the triad of lithium, okay, sodium, sorry. Thus, the atomic mass of the middle element, that is sodium, of this triad is equal to the arithmetic mean of the atomic masses of the first element and the third element of the triad. So, lithium, sodium and potassium are called alkali metals because they form alkalis and they are grouped together called triads, Dobereiner triads. Next example, see, chlorine, bromine and iodine. Same way, if you are taking the arithmetic mean, you are getting that these elements having same chemical properties and they are having their mass, means bromine is having the average mass of chlorine and iodine. Same for calcium, strontium and barium. So these are the three triads. Okay. So there are some limitations for triads. See, what is the limitation? The limitation of Dobereiner classification was that it failed to arrange all the then known elements in the form of triads of elements having similar chemical properties. Dobereiner could identify only three triads from the elements known at that time. So, his classification of elements was not much successful. Next is Newland's law of octaves. Yes, you all know octaves. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, sa. So something is related with this octaves. In 1864, Newlands arranged the then known elements in the order of increasing atomic masses and found that the properties of every eighth element are similar to the properties of the first element. Based on this observation, Newlands gave his law of octaves for the classification of elements. So, according to the law, Newland's law of octaves, when elements are arranged in the order of increasing atomic masses, the properties of the eighth element starting from a given element are a repetition of the properties of the first element. Here you can see the octave, yes, hydrogen, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So on 7th we have oxygen, next 8th is fluorine. So first element is hydrogen, 8th element is fluorine, right? So you can take any element. For example, if you are taking beryllium, okay, then which is the 8th element after beryllium? It is magnesium. So according to the law of octaves, when elements are arranged in the order of increasing atomic masses, the properties of the 8th element are a repetition of the properties of the first element. Now, if we start with lithium as the first element, we find that the eighth element from it is sodium, right? And according to Newland's law of octaves, the properties of eighth element sodium should be similar to those of the first element lithium. It has actually been found that lithium and sodium have similar chemical properties. Again, if we take sodium as the first element, then the eighth element from it will be potassium. So, according to Newland's law of octaves, the properties of potassium should be similar to that of sodium. It has actually been found that sodium and potassium have similar chemical properties. In fact, all the three elements, lithium, sodium, and potassium, possess similar chemical properties. Let us take another example to illustrate Newland's law of octaves. If we take beryllium, as I told you, if we take beryllium as the first element, then the eighth element from it will be magnesium. And according to the Newland's law of octaves, the properties of eighth element magnesium should be similar to those of the first element beryllium. It has actually been found that beryllium and magnesium have similar chemical properties. Again, if we take magnesium as the first element, then the eighth element from it will be calcium. So, according to the Newland's law of octaves, the properties of calcium should be similar to that of magnesium. It has actually been found that magnesium and calcium have similar chemical properties. In fact, all the three elements, beryllium, magnesium, and calcium, possess similar chemical properties. Newlands could classify elements only up to calcium in this way. As more and more new elements were discovered, they could not be fitted into the octave structure. Newland's classification of elements based on his law of octaves, however, gave a very important conclusion that there is some systematic relationship between the order of atomic masses and repetition of properties of elements. Newland's law of octaves for the classification of elements had the limitations also. Okay, so here we can, here I have given you 4 limitations one by one. Just go through it. Newland's law of octaves was applicable to the classification of elements up to calcium only. After calcium, every eighth element did not possess the properties similar to that of the first element. Thus, Newland's law of octaves worked well with lighter elements only. Second, Newlands assumed that only 56 elements existed in nature and no more elements would be discovered in the future. But later on, several new elements were discovered whose properties did not fit into Newland's law of octaves. Third limitation, in order to fit elements into his table, Newlands put even two elements together in one slot, and that too in the column of unlike elements having very different properties. Children, look at this table properly. See, for example, the two elements, see cobalt and nickel. Yes, where is cobalt? Okay, in first group you can see fourth, cobalt and nickel were put together in just one slot. and that too in the column of elements like fluorine, chlorine, and bromine, which have very different properties from these elements. So that was a drawback. Iron element, which resembles cobalt and nickel elements in properties, was placed far away from these elements. Yes, iron, cobalt, nickel, these are magnetic materials. So though they are having similar properties, they are grouped in different way. So before we end this discussion, please note that Doberener's triads also exist in the columns of Newland's classification of elements based on the law of octaves. For example, the second column of Newland's classification has the elements lithium, sodium and potassium, which constitute a Doberener triad. Before we discuss Mendeleev's periodic table and modern periodic table of elements, we should know the meaning of the term periodic table. The periodic table is chart of elements prepared in such a way that the elements having the similar properties occur in the same vertical column or group. It is called the periodic because the elements having similar properties are repeated after certain intervals or periods. And it is called a table because the elements are arranged in the tabular form. A periodic table consists of horizontal rows of elements called periods and vertical columns called groups. In Mendeleev's periodic table, the elements are arranged on the basis of their atomic masses and also on the similarity of chemical properties, whereas the modern periodic table is based on the atomic numbers of elements. Before we go further, we should know how the elements having similar chemical properties are represented in Mendeleev's periodic table. Oxygen and hydrogen are chemically very reactive. So, most of the elements combine with oxygen to form oxides and react with hydrogen to form hydrides. The elements having similar chemical properties form oxides having similar formulae. They also form hydrides having similar formulae. So, in writing the general formula for the oxides and hydrides of the elements are represented by the letter R. If some elements form oxides having same general formula, then they will have similar chemical properties. If some elements form hydrides having the same general formula, then they will also have similar chemical properties. Mendeleev took the formulae of the oxides and hydrides formed by the elements as the basic properties of elements for their classification in the form of periodic table. So, in Mendeleev's periodic table, the general formulae of the oxides and hydrides of elements in every group are written at the top of the group just to show that all the elements in a particular group have similar chemical properties. Keeping these points in mind, we will now describe Mendeleev's classification of elements. Mendeleev's periodic table. Last topic. While working on the classification of elements, a Russian scientist Mendeleev found that when elements are arranged in the order of increasing atomic masses, the elements with similar properties occur at regular intervals. So, what is the law? The properties of elements are a periodic function of their atomic masses. Mendeleev's periodic law means that if elements are arranged in the order of increasing atomic masses, then the properties of elements are repeated after regular intervals of time. In his periodic table, Mendeleev arranged all the then known 63 elements in the order of increase in atomic masses in horizontal rows, but in such a way that elements having similar properties came directly under one another in the same vertical column or group. The similar properties used by Mendeleev to classify elements into groups were then the similar formulae of their oxides and hydrides. A part of Mendeleev's periodic table is we are going to see next time. So children, whatever notes I have given you, just write. See, in Mendeleev's periodic table, Mendeleev's law is important. Which law? Yes, the properties of elements are a periodic function of their atomic masses. So write down these notes. Online class, we are going to discuss all this theoretical part. Thank you so much.